Roy asked me to act as chairman tonight, and I will call the meeting of tonight, the March 2nd of the Planning Board. To order. Is there a motion that we open the meeting?
Second?
Aye?
Aye.
Open the meeting?
Aye.
Okay, the meeting is now opened. The first item is probably this young lady here, 1616 Realty, where wants an extension to March so we want at least about a 12 months extension, because you're working on a number of things, right? I think we have to submit that to a motion. We discussed it at our work session. I assume that, Alice, it's perfectly all right just to extend it for a year. I think it's for good cause. It's been a lot of work to get this going. Therefore, we have a motion on the floor that we extend 2121 of 1616 Realty at 15 Hill Street for a year. Seconded?
Second.
Is it seconded? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's been extended. We have 630 Hampton Road, for which I am recused. But it's still up. We have had counsel who was here, he evaporated.
Yes, he
He
did.
actually did leave for the evening. Nothing has occurred. It's pending receipt of revised plans. And
This has been sliding for some time. I guess we still entertain it for a while. What do you think, Alice? Do we get them to dismiss it and start over? What do we do?
I think you should give the applicant a little more time. If you're getting anxious about it, I would suggest sending,
It just goes on and on and on.
well, if that's a problem for the board, I would suggest sending correspondence to the applicant, giving them a deadline by which to submit plans, otherwise you're going to remove it and make them start again. But I don't think you want to do it unilaterally.
There's all sorts of items.
There was a
going on.
big article in the paper 2 weeks ago that
Stories and everything.
doesn't look good.
I mean, you could have it adjourned until further notice, take it off the agenda and see what
Yeah.
happens. There's no reason to have it on the agenda. Nothing
Yeah.
is going to happen until we have revised plans that can be reviewed, and so we can wait.
Probably good. I mean, I hate for the building department and us and everything else to call it. I have it come and people look at it. It seems to me we should, I guess we can put it in escrow. We're not going to deal with it, okay?
I think that's a good idea, adjourn till,
Is that right? So
Yeah.
the motion is on the floor that this will be removed from our agenda until such time as either we take action to end the application or it submits plans to us with sufficient notice to have a discussion. Does anyone wish to second that motion?
Second.
Okay. Vote?
aye? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we've got the perpetrator of 23 Culver Street seems to be in the audience. I will resist telling him he's a sorry expletive omitted for certain things he's done to me in the past year, but it's nice to have Simi here for his own account.
Alan, board members.
What are we doing tonight? We've got to do. You're building a garage.
Existing
Continuing to use-
building.
You're making
with
it fancier, and you're adding a few
Yeah.
bumps here and there.
Exactly. Pretty much putting a porch on the front, adding a small square footage on the ground floor, which is the residential portion of it. Nothing on the second floor, which is the office. It's staying as is. An existing garage, two-car garage, is being expanded all
Front
the
to
way to
back.
Culver Street, front to back, and cleaning up, new septic system per health department requirements, nitrate system.
It'll be one of these, the current best practice for
Current best
less
practice
nitrogen.
food, exactly. That's pretty much, and basically restoring new windows and siding and so forth, which I'll be addressing at the architectural board this month.
We're advised by a supplemental memo from Kathy that what we probably should do is get the fire marshal to say it's okay, because this is a house that's also, it's a twofer. It's a house that's also a business, which is why we have to deal with it.
Just note that the business is my own business, but still,
I've been to see you there, I know that.
yes.
Boy, it's fine.
And I know you also, in your work session last, had requested a parking calculation, which I brought in a memo on that. I'll submit that too.
Didn't we have questions about sidewalk too?
Yes, you mentioned that if applicable, to show plans for curb cut. Now, any new curb cut. I have an existing curb cut where the existing parking is, and that's pretty much the same curb cut. However, we're definitely going to be cleaning it up, and it's right now a gravel drive coming into the street, so most probably that section, that short section, will be paved. So I'll show in my plans more refined curb cut. But pretty much all the curb cuts are existing. The village put in a new curb just a couple of years ago, so we just on the neighbor's side, there's not much of a curb. So I'll probably build onto or right next to the neighbor, just a small 5-foot curb on that side. And I'll show that in my drawings to you.
Okay.
Well, we've got to deal with secret because it's you, and you've got to go before the ARB, I think,
I
shortly.
do have to go in front of the ARB.
Next week, I think.
In a couple of weeks, I think, 23rd,
All right.
yes.
And so I guess, Kathy, can we take a vote on the secret from
So
now? You've reviewed it.
I reviewed it, we prepared the Part 2. This is definitely does not raise to the level of an environmental impact statement, so therefore this board can adopt a neg deck. I don't have a copy with me tonight, but that's something that can be done before closing the public hearing by the planning board.
So if we have the public hearing scheduled for the first Monday or whatever it is in April, we could do the neg deck at that time properly,
Correct.
don't you think?
Correct.
Okay. It should be routine.
I just want to clarify the sidewalk thing because I forgot to go look, but
Right.
apparently there's sidewalk up to this property and then sidewalk on the other side of it. And does it make any sense to continue sidewalk, or, because I know that street is sort of all chopped up.
The main reason for that is that, I shouldn't say the main reason, but the street widens when it gets in front of my property.
Okay.
Just east of my property, the street is narrower and accommodates sidewalk on both sides, actually.
Okay.
When immediately getting into my property, it widens, so there's not much of a room for a sidewalk
Okay.
over there. And then old Submergent's property to the west.
East of you is parking lot and former auto agency, so it's,
I have parking lot on both sides of me.
that too, yeah.
That's right.
But there's sidewalk to the west of you as well,
There's
right?
sidewalk to the west of me as well,
Right.
and a parking. But yes, that sidewalk basically was developed again in conjunction with the parking that was developed over there.
Okay.
I have about 5 feet of grassed area over there.
So it doesn't make sense to connect the dots for any reason?
The
Where
the
someone
dots
would have
don't
to step-
actually, it's not a straight shoot because, as I said, the road widens, but you should go take a look at
Okay.
it too.
Yeah,
I mean, my judgment as an architect and planner, I don't think that calls for one, especially that it's not a commercial retail activity over there. But take a look at it
Okay.
and give me your recommendations if you think otherwise, and I'll accommodate. But I think that being that Culver Street's nature originally was mostly residential, and to this date, all the south side of it is pretty much residential. North side of it, which I am sitting on that side, with the exception of myself and 2 other properties that are residents. The rest of them are basically parking lots accommodating businesses on Hill Street. So basically what I'm trying to say is that by introducing elements of a village business in an area that's really actually residents does not make sense.
Okay.
To that extent, actually, I'm proposing that porch on the section of the house that's sitting closer to the building, just to make more of a statement of a residential, which what Culver used to be,
Okay.
and still I think strongly is. It's just that we ended up with the parking of Hill Street on our street, unfortunately. But that's the nature of it.
Okay.
Okay, well, it seems to me that what we ought to do is take a peek. I've been by it so many times I've forgotten and the details, but it seems to me we should have a motion that we schedule this for a public hearing on, whatever, the 7th of April.
7th,
April
yes.
6th.
Isn't that the
6th
next
or
meeting?
7th?
April 6th.
6th, April 6th. Scheduled for a public hearing Monday night, April 6th. That motion's on the table. Anyone care to second that motion?
I'll second.
Seconded?
Aye.
Vote, aye?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay. Simi, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Have fun with the ARB quickly.
So, yeah,
Do the construction immediately.
I hope so. Well, we'll see. Thank you.
Okay, now we have 99 Sanford Place. It seems to me we've got a new, another map. Council's left. This was the map that he was looking for, that Squires, Kevin and Smith and Squires has finally given us. Kathy, does this resolve the setback provisions required
Thank you.
for the,
Being that it was received this evening, I would not like to speak about it. I
okay,
would like the
that's
time
good,
to
fine with
review
me. It's fine with me.
We can acknowledge receipt and that, we'll have some comments for the work session.
We've declared Mr.
Possibly.
Smith to be part of the problem at our work session, which happens, okay.
Yeah.
So to do the division, we really have to decide if it meets the conundrum of the access for the fire.
Yes, and I'll talk to Dean McNamara about it as well, see if he's comfortable with that.
Oh, we got, all right, then we can,
And then we can continue the CEQA process as well. Because we started it and then we stopped.
so we have to do SEQA on this still then, right? So we're the lead agency? Who else they don't go to anybody else, it's just us. Any other boards are there other boards with which we need to coordinate?
So I actually have to check my records. I believe that we started the coordination process, but then it kind of got put on hold. So we didn't get any response from the ARB or the zoning board. So the planning board can then assume lead agency or the health department. But I don't believe that this board acted on that to become lead agency.
So, to formalize it, you're our coordinator.
Yes,
There's all sorts of actions that say that the board should meet regularly and get together and hug each other and stuff, which still lies in the future. But you're the coordinator to
yes.
check with all
So I'll
of them.
check on the status
So
on
we,
that.
we should have, table a motion now, if we approve it, to become the lead agency for SEQA with respect to the division of this property.
I'll check, yes.
And therefore, the motion on the floor is that we assume lead agency to investigate and give a secret determination.
I would just wait, I would wait until next month, actually. There's
To
no
do
reason-
that?
There's no reason to do it, no, because I want to check and make sure that we received word from the other boards or not.
We're just going to tell them that we will do it unless they want it. Is that the way we do it? I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out
That
what
is
the
the way it
process
works,
is.
yes, that is the way it works.
Alice
There's no rush in
Alice is
doing it.
counsel all the boards, so she can do it. But it seems to me the planning people should do it, not council, because she's giving advice.
I don't represent the zoning board.
No,
No,
your partner does.
he does.
Okay, well, that's the firm. The firm is counsel to three, so the firm will
No, we're
determine.
individuals as counsel.
I understand. Okay. So then I guess all we do now is that the matter is adjourned by mutual consent until at least the next work session. All right? All right, so the next item is to deal with changing our schedule has been suggested to us to deal with Memorial Day. So therefore, the board can entertain a motion that the Monday, the 25th, will be canceled, and the following Monday on June 6th will be a combined work session and public session. So anyone care to second that motion or have an objection to it?
Second it?
Okay, in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay, so we've done that. All right, minute approvals. Anthony, what's the story?
You can vote on February 7th if you're comfortable. That was sent out. Anthony can't because he wasn't here, but the three of you could if you're prepared for that. The
On
24th hasn't been forwarded.
I didn't think the 24th was up, even
You
though
haven't received it yet.
Jackie gave it to us. So therefore, we can, there's a motion on the floor that the minutes for February 3rd be approved, and members, for three of us are here who can approve it. Therefore, I will vote in favor. Want to approve the minutes?
Yes. Second? Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Minutes are approved for that. Okay, our next meeting will be March 30th. If anyone know they won't be here on the 30th? Yet?
I'm going to be here.
Hey, I'm rooting for you.
Not going anywhere.
You're
I'm going to get
bionic.
my knee fixed.
You're bionic. This is wonderful. Okay,
I won't be here, but David will be covering for me.
rest my case.
Somebody has to go away.
Not going away.
Thank you for the
We should
firm.
close the meeting.
I will table the motion that the meeting for March 2nd be closed.
Second?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Again.